So regardless of what you think about Capcom, there's no denying that Monster Hunter Wilds has been a great game for them. Um, so Capcom came out and thanked the players, and here's the difference between what they did compared to what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Capcom just embarrassed Ubisoft with real Monster Hunter Wild sales numbers. Monster Hunter Wild sells 10 million copies in 1 month, a massive win for gamers who still care about ownership. Meanwhile, Ubisoft keeps gaslighting players with engagement metrics and anti-consumer ideology. So we've got this. Hello, hunters. This is Yuya Tokuda, the director of Monster Hunter Wilds. Thank you so much for playing Monster Hunter Wilds. As announced today, Monster Hunter Wilds has now sold more than 10 million copies globally. So 10 million copies. I don't know how much their budget was. So 10 million times $70. 700 million. Now again, I don't know their budget, but if it's, you know, around say 350 million plus say probably another 100 200 for marketing, so you're looking at about 500 million. So they made profit. They made a profit as opposed to um uh Assassin's Creed Shadows, which we don't know the numbers of games sold, but even so, let's just say 3 million players. Say 3 million players equals 3 million copies sold, not the fact that it's, they're giving out game codes. And yes, they were, because I remember they were giving out codes, and one person commented like, "Oh, you guys are really desperate for numbers." And then another person responded to them like, "Oh, this is common for game companies to do all the time. You can do it, get it for basically for free with Ubisoft Plus." People would say, "Oh, well, no one really has that." Well, people still do. It may not be a lot, but people still do. Intel, it's like, buy this, get it for free. There's ways of basically playing this game for free. But so let's just say 3 million players, right, equals 3 million copies sold. Let's just play devil's advocate. All right. So 3 million players times $70. So still not a good number, is it? Considering I think this game was like 250 million to make, something like that. Plus, I think they said they would have to need like 600 million to break even or make profit. So tell me, is this game a financial success? Those 3 million copies sold, is that enough to make it a success? Why do you think Ubisoft is using players? They're trying to gaslight you into believing that the game is doing well and selling well. It's not. If it was, they would be doing what they're doing. Kingdom Come Deliverance, same thing. It thanked people for the copies of the game sold. They're not coming out like, "Oh, hey guys, thanks for 2 million gajillion players." No, they're like, "Hey, thanks for the copy, this many copies sold." Um, Capcom just dropped a bombshell. Monster Hunter Wilds has officially surpassed 10 million units in its first month on the market, which is crazy. Let that sink in for the folks who are confusing the two. Units sold, not player engagement, not hours watched, and definitely not accounts registered. Capcom, as always, is speaking the language that matters. Actual copies sold. 10 million in a month is insane. Yeah, it is. And good for them. People have been enjoying Monster Hunter Wilds. I think people have been having fun with the modding. I've seen some pretty weird mods for Monster Hunter Wilds, and I mean, if they're perfectly fine with people modding the game, you know, it's whatever. That's what people like about having it online. On Steam or whatever. You can mod it. I mean, I think you can mod it on PlayStation and all that. It's just a little more difficult. but doing it online, it's more it's a way easier. Um, so message from the director Tokuda. The hunt is on. We are very happy that so many people around the world are playing the game. To commemorate the 10 million milestone, we are planning to release a free item pack for the community. So please look forward to more information. I'm sure it's not going to be like, oh, here's the sword, here's the gun. No, it's probably going to be a nice little item pack. We would also like to thank you for the many comments, thoughts, and feedback we have received since the game was released. The development team has been reading your feedback, and we are encouraged by it. We're also using the comments and feedback we have received to help us plan for our future actions. Uh, in this message, I'd like to take a moment to run through some of the upcoming plans based on your feedback, including a few areas that have already been in the works. Um, I guess we're not going to get to read the rest of that. In a world where publishers like Ubisoft are out here desperately trying anything they can pivot the conversation away from ownership, going as far as to push the dystopian mantra that you'll get used to not owning your games. Capcom's old school approach is a much welcome breath of fresh air. Contrasting this story with Ubisoft's engagement numbers of smoke and mirrors act of actual is actually hysterical. Yeah, when a game is successful or something is successful, it's successful because of the money it's made. So, as I said, they're coming out with, hey, 10 million copies sold. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, same thing. Copies sold. Why is Ubisoft going along with 3 million players? Ooh. And as you saw, 3 million players. Money-wise, it's really still not that much. Considering how much they had to rework it and all the extra money they spent on it. Yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna need 600, 700 million just to break even. So is $210 million really a success when it hasn't even come close to breaking even? The shills will say it is, but people are playing it. Okay, again, there's multiple ways of playing it. You don't have to buy a copy in order to play it. Not that hard to comprehend here. I mean, I mean, come on. All right, let's see what this is. Uh, plus more. Hashtag Monster Hunter Wilds passes 10 million copies sold. Director Yuya Tokuda has a message and blah, blah, blah. Future updates, challenging monsters, balance and quality of life, improving game stability, plus more. Yes, for that plus more. Yes. Let's actually go ahead. Click there. Director's letter. All right, where did we left off? Where do we leave off? Future planned updates. We plan to add new content and make various improvements and adjustments on an ongoing basis. Here's a look at what's currently on the way. So it's kind of like a, layout. Title update version. Update 1. April 3rd. April 3rd, April 4th. That's very soon. A seasonal event. Festival of Accord. Blossom Dance. Very cool. Like another event. Arc Tempered Raydao. Plans for summer. Title update 2. Additional monster and seasonal event. I mean, probably still in the works. As we just announced, the first free title update is scheduled to be released on Friday, April 4th, which is this Friday. In addition to adding new content, such as an additional monster, Mizusune, the new multiplayer gathering location, the Grand Hub. We also plan to make various tweaks to the game. We'll also continue to release further updates. I mean, this is what people want. They want you to be, you know, challenging monsters, balance adjustments, quality of life, improving game stability and other conditions. Like, this is what people want. They want you to just be out in the open about it, you know? We continue to add new elements and continue to make Monster Hunter Wild even more enjoyable for all hunters through our free content updates, while at the same time making further improvements and adjustments to the game. We will do our best to ensure that you will enjoy the collaboration with another Capcom title in the update at the end of May. Ooh. As well as the additional features and future updates. So we hope you enjoy it. Thank you for continued support for Monster Hunter Wilds. Happy hunting. Yu Tokuda, director of Monster Hunter Wilds. Transparency is key. Like, seriously. See if we can get this. Sometimes you just gotta mess with it. There we go. The numbers that matter. Released on February 28th, 2025, Monster Hunter Wilds took the gaming world by storm, despite launching with over 1.3 million concurrent players and facing early criticism by people were like just saying that it was really badly optimized for the PC. Personally, I had no issues running it, but I heard many did. The game has apparently steadily improved for those players facing issues through patches and updates. I mean, of course, when you first launch a game like that, there's always going to be issues. But what matters to players is how fast you get those updates out, those patches out. You know, if combat is broken or whatever, how fast those patches come out. You know, if you're moonwalking everywhere, how quickly get a patch in there to get you walking normal again. But the game has apparently steadily improved for those players facing issues through patches and updates. Capcom wasted no time listening to players' feedback, and their efforts have paid off immediately. The fusion of numerous new elements with Monster Hunter's appeal has generated significant excitement, all of which led to the company's first month sales records of over 10 million units sold, crossed between PC, PS5, and Xbox Series 10s. Amazing visuals powered by the re-engine, new gameplay mechanics and storyline. This is what success looks like when a publisher actually respects its audience. And guess what? There's diverse characters in it, and no one has a problem with it. Funny how that works. Maybe because they're good characters. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. The first free title update drops April 4th. Bring a fan favorite monster and introducing the Grand Hub. Step into the Grand Hub. A new social area. Then a second update is upcoming as well, slated for the summer. In contrast, we have Ubisoft over here, who still hasn't figured out how to get people interested, let alone invested in Assassin's Creed Shadows. But don't worry, you can still pay $10 to unlock the map in Assassin's Creed Shadows instead of playing the game itself. Engagement metrics, a cover for failure. Speaking of, let's talk about Ubisoft for a sec. Yes, let's. The company spent the last few months dodging sales numbers for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Instead, they've been flaunting vague player engagement metrics. What does that even mean? How long someone left the game running in the background? How many times someone opened the launcher? When a game is truly successful, publishers brag about sales. Yeah. Like I said, Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance did the same thing. They said, hey, thanks for this many copies sold. Because it's not about the player engagement. It's about how many copies are sold. Copies sold is what making the people, the company to profit. Players engaging. It doesn't mean anything. Again, and even if it was 3 million players or 3 million copies, it still hasn't even come close to breaking even yet. So it still failed. It still failed. Uh, Ubisoft's silence on actual sales units says everything. And when they do speak, it's with a corporate spin, pushing ideas like game streaming and subscription services as the future, even though gamers have always been consistently rejecting that model. Gamers have spoken. Capcom just proved what every gamer already knows. Ownership still matters. It always will. 10 million units in a month for Monster Hunter Wilds isn't just a win for Capcom. It's a massive L for every publisher trying to kill ownership of games, push away online DRM, or shift everything to digital monthly paid subscriptions. Ubisoft can continue pretending engagement is king, and if you want to, if you want to continue thinking that 3 million players is a win for the game, go ahead. But numbers don't lie. There's a reason why they're not telling you how many copies have sold yet. And again, even if it was 3 million copies sold, it doesn't matter. They still haven't come close to breaking even yet. So again, the game is still a failure. But sure, I hope you don't fucking break your neck or back trying to do all these, mental gymnastics and having to bend over backwards just to try to shill for this game. And just why don't you just admit that they just produced a bad product? I don't know why people are having such problem nowadays just admitting that a company done goofed. If they started things off correctly, they might have had a chance. But no, every step along the way, they've disrespected the gamers. They've disrespected a whole fucking country to the point where that government had to step in and be like, hey, can you not do this? So had they just made something good from the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. But no, it was about the pandering. It's like, oh my God, Black Lives Matter is a big thing right now. Let's make Yasuke. And yes, that's pretty much the reason they made it. That's pretty much the originally they were gonna have just a regular Japanese samurai, but then they saw opportunity. Let's make it to where we have a historic black samurai because we can pander because Black Lives Matter will totally still be a thing. Meanwhile, Capcom will be sitting on a mountain of cash while Ubisoft sits on a throne of lies. Mountain of cash earned the honest way by making a damn good game and selling it directly to players. I've had a blast playing it thus far myself, and looking forward to the next time I can get back into it. The only problem is is the sheer amount of incredible releases that have been coming down the pipe. This particular year, 2025, is shaping up to be one for the ages, and that's before we even have Nintendo's roadmap for the Switch 2 still. Yeah, I mean, new Mario game, new Zelda game, probably a new Donkey Kong game. Super Smash Brothers game would be amazing, but I don't even think that people would. I mean, who else could you add to Smash now? They already got like some of the hardest characters to get, like Sora. Like the Mad Lad did it. He got Sora into Super Smash Brothers. He did it. Something that people thought was impossible. No, Sora is in Super Smash Brothers. So it's like, how do you top that? What character could you add in that people would care about now? So, but yeah, definitely people are always waiting on Mario and Zelda, especially Zelda. I mean, Breath of the Wild was good. Tears of the Kingdom was really good. And people are just wanting to see if we're going to return to that kind of gameplay with a wide open Hyrule rather than just a linear gameplay where it's like, okay, you go to this town and talk to them, and then you got to go over there and get that item, and then you got to go over and beat that dungeon, and get the item in there, and all right, now you got to go to the next town and figure, kind of like an Ocarina of Time thing, very linear. Doesn't really give you a whole lot of chance to spread your wings. But I think not Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was really good too. That Hyrule was really big. It was really big, very large. But Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, you had the sky, you had above, the middle, and below. So you had the floating islands, you had the depths, and then you had all of Hyrule in the middle. So even more to explore. So something like that, better graphics. I want them to make an Oracle of Ages and Seasons remake, kind of like what they did for Link's Awakening. I love the Oracle games, and I would love to see them being remade. That's just me. They should remake the CDI games. Full 3D. Gee, it sure is boring around here. Monster Hunter Wilds is already on track to match it or surpass Monster Hunter World's lifetime sales of 22 million units. And if it does, that'll be the final nail in the coffin for fake metrics and empty PR jargon. We aren't asking for the world to publish from publishers. We just want to buy good games with no DEI injected. And that's no DEI, I mean it's forced. When you're making a character for the sole purpose of, oh, well, we need representation. And then, you have like a black character who's inserted for representation, but then they have no personality at all apart from being black. That's what we mean. It's okay to have black characters. It's okay to have trans characters and gay characters but just make them good characters. Stop like, oh, here's a gay character and their whole shtick is, get this, they're flamboyant. Oh wow, flamboyant gay character, totally original, because that's not going to get old fast. Because apparently no masculine gay men exist or something. 10 million in just a month, that's huge. Capcom just needs to keep doing what they're doing, and people will buy. That's not a win. Capcom are still as bad as Ubisoft since they are a DEI company. They may be bad, but 10 million copies in a month. That's still good. So people are able to look past the DEI because it's a good game. Because again, Monster Hunter Wilds has diversity, equity, inclusion in it. But they're good characters. Who would have thought that it's easy to look past when they're good characters? Who would have thought? But anyway, yeah, there's a reason why Ubisoft keeps saying, oh, players. If you want to think that players means copies sold, well, they only made $210 million when they need at least 6 million or so just to break even. So if you want to consider this a victory, 3 million players of victory, go ahead. Just don't fucking hurt your back bending backwards for this company. I hope you don't break your neck or anything with all these fucking mental gymnastics. That's all I'm saying. If you want to think it's a win, sure, it's a win. 3 million players. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Never before has a game reached 3 million players. This is a huge win for Ubisoft. And all those naysayers who thought that the game wouldn't sell well. Oh, they sure showed you. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.